When I was young, when I was a child, I um I faced challenges and barriers. I hear a lot about that nowadays, the challenges and barriers that people faced throughout their life. The very first barrier, I still face it today. The barrier that I've had has been a barrier for 36 years. The barrier that I have was put there by someone who was supposed to be, well, the only person that shouldn't have, or at least that I could have relied on that wouldn't have. I only say what I'm about to say because I don't know. But I have written and read for the last 5 years. That's all I've done. I haven't done anything else. And I don't see any hope. So that's why I'm not going to say this, I guess. Maybe hope. The barrier that I faced when I was a child, I still face it today, and I'll face it until the day I die. The barrier that I had was a stack of pillows. Between me and the reason why I am me, to be honest. If you think about it, yeah. Between me and barriers don't block out sound, though. When you when you get older, you're supposed to, love your neighbor. You're supposed to love your wife, your girlfriend, all the people that love you back. Sorry. I don't know what that means to love. I don't know what it means to love. Like I said, I don't know what it means to have somebody love you. I don't know what it means. I don't know if I've ever loved anybody or anything. When somebody that loves you, or is supposed to love you, you see other parents give their kid a hug and buy him a present, and you watch that, and then you think back on when yours bought you one. You go, well, why? Was it out of love or was it out of guilt? Probably a bit of both. When I went into foster care, it saved my life. It did. I had to go to foster care. It saved my life. I met a lot of people in there that they maybe shouldn't have been there, or were there too long, or whatever reason, whatever. But I never met anyone there I didn't like. And I never met anyone there that didn't like me, unless they didn't tell me. But I'm cool with that too. I'm okay with denial. I met my brother in there, in foster care, and he had a hard go too. He was a native guy, and we shared a room. And we would just talk for hours, just all night. We'd just talk. We would just talk and talk and talk. I miss him a lot. I learned a lot from him, and I would hope that he had learned a lot from me. I don't know how happy he would be if he found out that he's just a statistic, and I'm just a statistic. But when he was alive, we were brothers. We were brothers. And now we're statistics opposing each other. I don't think he'd be too happy. I don't know. Altering people's perceptions is not how you change their perspective. It just isn't. Understanding your perceptions through their perspectives is how you change your own. They say the eyes are the windows to the soul, but I don't think we hear that properly. The eyes are the windows to the soul. Why do we all look down now? Nobody looks at anybody in the eyes. Because we heard that saying that I can see your soul through your eyes, buddy. Nope. It's because maybe we were seeing our own through theirs, through the reflection of their eyes. And we don't like what we see. I don't know why my life is anything. I don't know why I'm here. I don't hate anybody. I don't harbor guilt or ill will. I don't remember a lot. So that's probably part of it. You live outside of your body when life is too much. That's what drinking is. That's what drugs are. When life is too much, you try to remove yourself from your own body. When you have childhood traumas that are over years, through the person that feeds you, clothe you, and care about you, you can't survive. You have to live outside of your body. And your mind will do that on its own. my phone, so I'll hurry this up. Structures of society are changing. And it looks good. But you can't alter somebody else's perceptions to change their perspective. You can't do it. When you owe a bunch of people money, it's a heavy weight. And when you owe one person money, it's a heavy weight. Guilt and kindness, they kind of live together. They're neighbors. At least they can be. And generally they are. When somebody has no money throughout the whole month, and then they get a check at the end of the month, they either can hide because they've borrowed smokes or some whatever. They're in debt. But they're in debt to their brothers and their sisters and their friends. They're in debt a cigarette, to this or that. Hey man, I bought the last bottle. Stupidity. But I know that stupidity very, very well. And what happens is at the end of the month, you get that check, and because all these bills and everything it's all in the ether, you can't see it. It's not tangible. But your friends are. So you get really excited. And you pay them back and all that. But then you just have to borrow more. When you have nothing and then somebody gives you something, if you don't deserve it, it can feel a bit odd and awkward. But you want it, but back here, you don't deserve it. So it's awkward. You don't know how to act. Especially if you've been given something many times and you have a lot of stuff, but you don't really deserve it. You don't know how to act. You don't know what to do. It throws you off. It's weird. It is. If you deserve it, and finally you get it, you might not look at what comes with it. Because it's not about the thing you're getting. It's about the feeling of finally. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. And this is why they have fine print. Get the nice phone. Get the nice TV. And you read the fine print, but you can't really see it. Fine print. I wonder how many people would be so eager to grab that phone if what is fine became large and what large became fine print. We just switched it. I wonder how many people would be eager for the thing. I don't know. I have no brothers and sisters. I have a mother and a father, and I have cousins that none of them really know me at all. When I was 11 years old and I went into foster care, I was never allowed to see them again until I was 18, my family. And that didn't really bother me because it was just me and my dad anyway. He was the youngest of 6, and I'm an only child. He never ever remarried. I don't remember him even going on a date. And so it's just me and him. Now, I was alone about 16 hours a day. I did whatever I wanted because I raised myself. I got in trouble from other people, but I didn't learn anything from them. I went to foster care, and it was the same thing. just by myself. I'd never been in a big city like that before. Like, I had been in Edmonton before. But, you know, you're riding in the back of the car, you get out of there and you're in your aunt's house or something like that, and you get back in the car and then you leave. I didn't know anything about anything. But I did know people. We moved a lot. I'm sure you can presume why. Moved a lot. I don't remember 60% of my childhood. Probably, like, altogether, I don't even know. I don't know. It's black. And I don't mean black as in, like, I can't quite remember. It's anesthetic black. You went out and then it's gone. It's not there because it didn't imprint. There's no memory to find, I don't believe. I believe, from my understanding and just from being me and knowing what I remember and don't, for the most part, I can find memories. They're harder and harder as I get older. My memory's not doing well. The recall of things is starting to go. I'm nearly 40, and it's going to get worse. It's when I read what I read and I listen to what I listen to, all of it says when you have PTSD is a thing. It needs to get on that DSM-5. I know why it doesn't, though, but it should, because if too many people look in that direction, maybe too many things will become clear. Childhood, or whatever the C stands for, I can't quite remember, but anything will work. Just crappy, I don't know, crappy post-traumatic stress disorder manifests in so many different ways. It manifests in all the same ways: sociopathic, narcissistic, ADHD, severe depression, bipolar, I can't remember this one, personality disorder, I can never remember that, BPD, I don't know, and dissociative amnesia. All of those things I have been called from people that I know, or therapists have I've had a few therapists that have kind of started going down, but nothing's ever gotten treated. I've just done it on my own, for the most part, on my own, just listening to hours of webinars and lectures and just people smarter than me. And it's a lot of people. And being on my own, wandering from one side of Canada to the other, living here and there until I lose it every 6 to 8 months. I've said the same thing so many times, I don't know if I said it already in this video. It was just Dad and then I. And I got snipped because I didn't want to go through what I went through again through the court system. Copious amounts of research that has been done, not by me, but by the universities and the people that do the research. And every one of them says, and they're changing laws right now because of them, you cannot survive well aging out of foster care. Some of the things that they're changing are good. Some of the things are not. It won't matter. It won't matter. I'll tell you that right now. I'm sorry. There's some things that won't matter. If somebody's interested, they can ask me later. Maybe we can do one of these. It's fine. I'd like to start doing. I hate talking to myself. I have to flip it around so I can see my own face, because I never trust that it's going to record, because I have sat here in this car many times and recorded hour and a half, 2 hours, and just talked, and then I look at it and I'm like, it died. The phone died. I own nothing, and I never will. Almost $100,000 in arrears. I don't know where my son or she is. Last I heard, about 10 years ago or something, maybe even more than that now. Yeah, about 10 years ago, she was married, had another few kids and all that, and that's good. It's a good thing. It makes me happy, but I don't know how to be happy. I don't know how to be happy for that, because they never were really part of my life. Ever. I am tired of having the government in my life. I'm tired of it. All this research said there's no way that aging out of foster care, 18, 19, 20 years old, would I have been able to manage $500 a month, go through the same court systems that an adult would, if they had a career, a couple of boats, a few kids, and then they got divorced, and all that. And the laws are in place for them, for the arrears, to get it. The taking of the license, the written seizure and all the property, all that, that's for those people. There's some of us that aren't those people. I've never had a chance to be one of those people. I didn't know her. I barely knew her, right? Is what I mean, is I didn't build anything with her. I held them as a baby a little bit, and then that's it. They had to go. I get that. I wasn't a criminal. I'm not a criminal. This is a foster kid who had no support structures. I was a foster kid who had the past like mine. I was a foster kid who had a kid with a kid. And I don't know why I'm still alive. I don't know. I do not know. Life has been hard, and I've met a lot of people with hard fucking lives, man. I've spent my life with the people that all the news media says, what should we do with these people? How about this? Talk to them. Don't do research. Talk to them. They'll tell you. Don't lie. See, I'm useful for the way that I can be. And use the skills that I have, which is people, understanding people. Going into places that I shouldn't go. I shouldn't be there. There's no reason for me to be there except for I have nowhere else to be. And I care about those people. I care about people. I'm alive because of the kindness of strangers. Is why I'm alive. There's no reason for me to be anywhere. There's no family home. I'm not attached to anything. I'm not attached to an apartment. I can't get a phone. I can't get a car. I'm attached to nothing. Not for lack of trying. Every so often, for some reason, the media will decide to do a report on basically my life. The words we use matter. They do. They really do. And the hearts of the minds of the people are the structures of society. The right decision at the wrong time is the wrong decision, and you can't reconciliate and disaggregate at the same time.
Was in the same boat as more than 35,000 other Alberta parents in 2019, according to figures from Alberta Justice. In total, owed nearly $609 million.
It's more.
That's a slight rise in cases in arrears in Alberta, from 64% of total cases in 2014 to 70% last year.
I'm not surprised at the level of arrears that there are, because they're essentially going after bad apples. People who are not adhering to an order, who don't want to pay.
Not everybody. And I'm not an anomaly. Transferring out of foster care is difficult. It's hard. It's scary. You don't want to do it. You just started developing some sort of relationship with maybe your foster parents or whomever, and then that gets taken away again. I've had 3 separate lives, full lives, before foster care. Good reasons, yes. But I had a life, and I don't know that anymore. It's a whole different person. A whole different person. And then foster care. 18. Goodbye now. You can actually find me. I don't mean me personally, but my life and everything that has happened is all researched. It's all, you can read, they have tons of it, reports, all of it. Here's one of them. A policy brief from October 4th, 2001. The Child Welfare League of Canada, supporting equitable transitions to adulthood. This is good. Research confirms that young people who are forced to leave the child welfare system at the age of majority face major intersecting challenges. These include higher risks of experiencing homelessness, poverty, unemployment, mental health, addictions issues, and involvement in the criminal justice system. By the way, that's who in March, just so you know, all of those things are why somebody who does not have a terminal illness, they'll be able to apply. I'm just saying. Hope is for the things that we can't see. You build hope. When you're young, you have little hope. And then you have good structures, and that hope is stackable. You stack and you stand on top of it. And then you get older and you need bigger hope. And it's harder to see it, but you can lean on all of the hope that you had when you were young. Hopefully. This isn't hope. Youth in Care of Canada. youthincare.ca. The priorities for 2018 to 2021. To fulfill its mandate, Youth in Care Canada Board of Directors has set the following priorities over the next 3 years. Number 1, continue to build the organization and expand its membership and its partners. Number 2, increase national awareness of critical issues facing youth in care through research and knowledge sharing, with specific focus on disproportionately affected youth in care, Indigenous, LGBTQ, it says etc., but they mean those with disabilities, women, Black, marginalized. And progress will be measured against them on a regular basis. Disproportionately affected youth in care. I don't even know what that sentence means. Shame on you. You can't disaggregate trauma. You can't compare pain. What are you doing? If there is a child right now in care that looks like me and looks like my brother, what hope do either of them have? You can't reconcile through disaggregation. This isn't a one-off. There's a reason why when you call legal aid, they say, "Are you Indigenous?" Well, no. I mean, I don't know. I'm not exotic. I'm not foreign. I'm not an immigrant. I'm nothing. I have not read over the last 5 years, and it goes farther than that. Done, reported, talked about. You cannot even find anybody that is in research Cindy Blackstock, you should be ashamed of yourself. Because if something is the right thing to do, like to help the Indigenous foster children to have hope, and the way that it's done is to take the non-Indigenous and compare them to say one needs more help than the other is ignorant and wrong. Some of us were just born here. I haven't even been able to settle my own family. I'm sure you have a good heart, but your methods are just, I don't know, but it's not that. I have read, I won't call it anymore, but I just wanted to use, I just wanted to focus on decolonizing the foster and to teach it to the people that are taking care of the children in the child welfare system in Canada care more about the mandates of their own personal little beliefs, whether they're right or wrong, more than the children. Trauma-informed care doesn't exist. You can't have trauma-informed care when you disaggregate trauma. It's not informed. Ignorant. When I talk about the child support, it's not because I don't want to pay. I can't pay. I haven't ever been able to pay. When I found out about that I was even having this happen, I was 21, I believe. I found out because all of a sudden my bank account was drained with not just my rent in there, by the way. And my boss called me and said he got a letter saying that my license is still, so I lost my job and my place. Luckily, I was this close to losing my place. Luckily, I was able to get help for that. But, well, let's just say yeah, I don't talk to those roommates anymore, that's for sure. It's hard to build relationships with people when you go, yeah, no problem, man, for sure, yeah, rent's there. And then you're like, oh, rent's not there. When I found out about maintenance enforcement, I was like they said, here, you have to pay this amount of money. It's $378 a month, which, by the way, I would have had to make like 40,000 or some odd, between $40,000 and $52,000 a year. There isn't one report out there that says that would have ever happened. Never. I mean, you either believe me or you stop paying them to do research. I've never made over $30,000 in my life. I might have been able to, we don't know, but I never have, especially at that time. During the time when I was having this happen, because I didn't realize that it was going on, I think I made the most I made $9,000, I think $8,000 that year. I would have, they based it on an income that I've never made in my life. Then they said, when I found out, because they said, well, you have to pay this, but we backdated it. So you actually owe $500 a month and you're already $15,000 in debt. And I was going, what? Who are you people? Literally in the same sentence. That's how I found out about them. I found out about maintenance enforcement with them saying, give us $500 a month. You're $15,000 in debt. At the same time, research is happening so that way these policies can be put out now. Saying that's never going to happen. They can't do it. Change laws to say that they can do it. And I go, okay, well, I was saying that. And then now I go, oh, sweet, good. Okay, there's proof. I can't do it. And they go, click. Legal aid won't call me back. Lawyers, they say don't do this alone because of the case it's a little rough. It's interprovincial. I need a lawyer. But it's expensive, they say. I haven't had one. I haven't even had anybody even look. Not even look. I get hung up on. I get asked if I'm Indigenous. I've literally had people say, well, you don't want to pay for your kids? One good thing in my life makes sense. Just one good thing. I'm going to put this out here right now. That was CBC, by the way. If somebody hears this, I know I'm not good at doing this, but that's because I'm kind of just talking to myself, hoping that something, I don't know. Keep all the arrears on me. I don't care anymore. I'm nearly 40 years old. I'd like my license back, so at least I could maybe, I don't know, drive cab. Keep the arrears on me. Keep my license. Keep everything. Written seizure, I don't care. Somebody, please look at this. I'm not saying that people aging out of foster care shouldn't pay child support if they have to, but I will say this. It doesn't make sense, and it's not even talked about or mentioned on the one side. On women's side, it is. So it just, I don't know. Men exist, by the way. If you are there, I don't know if it's in place yet, but they're working on it. It's tricky and all that stuff, but it'll be coming into place. This is one of the recommendations that they have for youth aging out of care. If you are young and you're aging out of care at 18, let's say I'm aging out of care and I'm owed child support, okay? 18, 19, 20, 25, I think up until 21 maybe, I think it is, you can still request it from the person that owes you. Okay, so but what happens if he gets somebody pregnant and he owes? Do you see what I'm saying here? Please understand that.